what is a copyright? Copyright begins as a concept with the Statute of Anne, which is a law from England from 1710, which accorded to the author the exclusive right to make or authorize the making of copies of that author's books. The U.S. Constitution grabbed onto that concept, and in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8, guarantees to authors the rights in their original works for the purpose of advancing science and the useful art. Almost immediately after the first convening of Congress under the Constitution, Congress passed its first Copyright Act of 1790, I believe.
Correct.
The Copyright Act has been revised a number of times since. The current act is the Act of 1976, which covers all works from 1978 onward. That has been amended more than once since 1976, but the Framework Act dates from 1976. It covers not merely at this point books, but also almost any kind of creative work that is non-functional. Books, clearly, articles, all writings, charts, graphs, pictures, sculptures, music, choreography of dance, and quite a number of other things, architecture. The list has gotten larger over the years. The rights that are attached to them is not merely to make a copy, but there are other rights as well. Those also have expanded over the years.
So let me just add to what Josh has said. Copyright generally applies to creative works. Copyright, as we lawyers like to say, is a form of intellectual property. And Joshua mentioned that copyright does not apply to, say, functional works. That often is the province of patent law for inventions and processes. Copyright is more towards the creative end of original creation, and originality is a requirement for being able to obtain a copyright in a work. There's a very famous case from the Supreme Court that held that you can't copyright the phone book if it's merely an alphabetical listing, because it's not sufficiently original enough to merit copyright protection. So going forward in terms of what this intellectual property or intangible right entails, as Josh mentioned, it has evolved far further than just merely the right to make copies of, say, a book or a recorded piece of music, CDs, MP3s, etc. There are now certain rights associated with copyright. For example, if I am an author of a book, I sell Josh a copy of that book. He is the lawful owner of that copy, but I still retain the copyright, that intangible intellectual property right.